Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is the 2022 Darton Maverick XT. The bow is 33 inches axle. It says it shoots at 345 feet per second, 4.6 pounds, draw length from 25.5 to 30.5 with a rotating module. Now, Darton has been around for a number of years. In fact, my first company I ever dealt with, as far as being the distributor for, was Darton Archery, and that was back 32 years ago. Back in the time, I dealt with a person by the name of Mike Hoadley. He's now running for US Parliament, and that would be really good for archery if Mike went in. A really nice person, and I've been obviously close with him for 32 years. We've been like good friends. Now, Mike left Darton in, I think, when I was around 40-ish, and I went to Rex, who is the owner of the company, and I said, look, I need some help, and Rex just basically ignored me. So I went away from Darton, and I went to PSE and some other bow companies. But the Maverick bow has always been the flagship bow for Darton Archery. It's a speed hunting bow that's always comfortable, nice and light, smooth drawing, fast. It's being the premium bow that you want to own from Darton Archery. And Darton Archery has always been cutting edge technology. They've always been really fast. In fact, I purchased for my mother a Darton Maverick back in the 1990s, and she shot Australian competitions with it, state competitions, and won. So, and in fact, I shot it about 6 months ago. I was like, this bow is not as good as I remember. It didn't have parallel limbs like this. So let's go through this bow. Now, Darton Archery, Rex, who had a son who worked at Darton, sold the company. So it's been sold to the people who own Black Eagle Archery, Black Eagle Arrows, and they've now taken over. The people are still there, still in Michigan. So let's have a look at this. The first thing that you'll notice with the new Darton is the grips has changed. Darton has always had the same grip, and they've had rubber either side, and they've always been very, very comfortable grips. This is very narrow, so it kind of reminds me of like a Hoyt grip, and it's very square around the edges here. And what worries me, without even shooting this bow, is this part here. This is where my thumb is going to be. I feel like my thumb is going to come up under here, and I feel like it's going to hurt. Now that's common with a few bows, so I'm going to be interested to see how that sits in the hand. The Mavericks in the past were quite light. This is 4.6, and it still feels kind of light, but you can feel it's got more weight than the Mavericks in the past. The cam system's a bit unique. It's a yoke system, so this is similar to like other bow companies on the market, pretty much like them all. But the yoke, this is like, I was going to say the yoke system's different, the Tempest is different. This is a standard yoke here that pulls evenly on the sides. The cable stop there. It's a rotating module, which has got a little pin there to hold it in place, and the settings here to tell you where to adjust it. You do not need a bow press, 2 screws, and that's like nice. Easy to see how to adjust it. Cable guard's a bit different. The cable slides a bit different. It kind of moves as like it's enclosed. So I've never seen one like this before. That's a bit unique. One sight position here for your sight. Some bows can move up or down. This is for your 2-piece quiver. Now I don't think Darton produce a 2-piece quiver anymore. This bow comes in the Cryptic Highlander camo, which is this one. It comes in black, or it comes in OD green or tan. I really like the look of the limb pockets. They look nice. This looks really nice. The finish looks very, very nice on this bow as far as like high quality. Nice and smooth. The limb edges are kind of rounded off, which looks good. Look, it looks quite nice. I don't know what it's going to draw like. These stops feel like they're going to be very solid when you draw it back. A locking system, so you're going to need, if you're wanting this bow down, you need to unlock it here. The bow comes in 70, 60, 50 pound options. So let's sort of see how it feels, and let's see what sort of speeds we shoot. First arrow I'm going to try is a Victory VAP. This weighs about 390 grams per This bow's set on 29 inches at 60 pound. The arrow is 390 grain. It's a 350 spine with a 140 grain point. This is my target arrow. 6-inch brace height. So this should be a little bit quicker than normal, and it should be a little bit twitchier to shoot. So I wouldn't expect to shoot the same groups as I do with the 7-inch brace height, but let's sort of see how it goes. So this is the start of it's quite smooth. I can feel it, so it's served through here, and I can feel something. I think I can feel the serving through the cable guards. Oh, this at that point there, it feels like it's about to become very light. Very unusual draw cycle. So there, it feels like oh. Oh, it feels like I'm halfway through the draw cycle, so I feel like I'm about 20 inches in, halfway through the draw, and it's getting easier, like really easy. Normally a bow drops off at the end, and this feels like halfway through it's getting easier. I can't see how you're going to shoot 345 feet per second with this bow. Way too easy draw cycle. Like here it's light. Okay, so all bows should come factory set at 29 inches. This is straight out the box, and it's clearly not 29 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this bow to 29 inches and continue the video, but I'm going to shoot it first. Now, I don't think this is at 60 pounds, and maybe I've got stronger from shooting, a 52 pound recurve, but it doesn't feel, I feel like the shorter draw length has reduced the poundage, which is fairly common on a lot of bows. I feel like this bow should come factory set at the factory at 29 inches, and I think it should be written on a card. I feel like there should be some sort of stats on these cards here. But it's a very unique draw. It's not like anything you would have tried before. It's very solid back here. Let's just take the shot. .263. Very quiet, I'm going to say. It's got a little bit of a push upwards. The bow's quite well balanced in the hand. Very unique draw cycle. Like for the hunter, it's going to be very easy. I think it's a bit different because at this point here, you can see this. I haven't seen a cam look like this where it's kind of egg-shaped, and I think that's what's happening halfway through. It's like it's square here. It's very unique. I'm going to adjust it to 29. And we're going to check the speed again. Okay, so we've set the bow at 29 inches, and the first things I want to show you is they've got a timing mark on this side here, and actually on this side here of the cam, so you can see the cams are timed. It was very easy to adjust the draw length. These are big Allen key screws, which is great. A lot of times with bows they have small Allen key screws, which you strip out when you're trying to adjust them. These are really big, very easy to adjust. I just question why Darton is doing bows out of the box at 27 inches. Darton's home, like Michigan, is where most of the Dartons are sold, so maybe everyone's smaller in Michigan than the rest of the world. I don't know, but 27 inches just seems really weird to set a bow to out of the factory. So let's try it again at 27. Now the grip, I was expecting it to be a bit weird and expecting it to hurt. It didn't, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes as this review continues. See, this is interesting. See, I haven't hit the valley yet. .287. So at 27 inches, this bow feels completely different at 29 inches. The valley doesn't hit until the end at 29 inches. At 27 inches, it's like you've got this massive valley and the bow feels So 287, that's with a 290. Let's try this is a velocity, so this is 327 grains. It's a gold tip velocity, there's speed arrow. Yeah, you'd be expecting 310s, pluses. You might get it, but the draw is very smooth. So I tested the poundage. The poundage was 61.87, so it was over 60 pounds. It's a very smooth draw. Darton's always had a smooth draw cycle. This is no exception. .313. I much prefer this bow at 29 inches than 27 in the draw cycle. It's a different bow. I wouldn't be happy with this bow at 27 inches if I was 27. So if I'm shorter than 27, I don't think I'd be happy. The valley on this bow feels so much better at 29 inches. Like let's just try it again. So it's solid, solid, solid. Still building, still building. About to drop now there. So it's right at the very end. .312. So very little vibration when you shoot the bow. The valley's nice and short at the end. There's really very, very different. It feels nice and crisp. Yeah, it feels quite good. So we're going to move back to 18 and see what sort of grips we get with the bow. Okay, so I'm at 18 meters. Fingers crossed. I never know how it's going to go. Whether the bow will stay together or not, whether it'll fall apart. Look, I think the Dartons are really solid bows. I've sold them for years. I've never had a problem. I think I'm going to shoot with this bow. Probably not as good as other bows because it's a 6-inch brace height. I really like the draw cycle on this bow, and I'm liking the way it shoots. In fact, it reminds me very much of the old Darton Maverick I used to shoot. It's one of my favourite bows. This is very, very nice to shoot. Now, if you're looking for more accuracy, then you probably have to look for the Darton Tempest with a bigger brace height. But we'll see how I shoot with this. Now, I will say James Lutz is his name, from America, won the American Championship shooting a Darton. And obviously shoots it extremely well, and there's no reason why you can't win with a dart. Look, most bows have the same limbs. These are the same limbs as everyone else has. You've got these little things up here to reinforce the limbs if you dry fire the bow. Look, it's all very standard. Most bows are pretty similar these days. You've got to say, well, do I like the grip? Do I like the draw cycle? To me, this feels very similar to other bows. It's just the grip's a bit different. And I don't know if it's my favorite grip, but I don't know if I don't like the grip either. So I'm a bit. It's not that I don't like the grip. The grip I'm finding comfortable. I'm finding consistent. But I don't know if it's my favorite grip. I really, I'm very familiar with the PSE grip. It suits me. I've shot it for a number of years. I really like the Elite grip, how it sort of tapers in, and the way it sits in your hand, I really, really like. So this grip is very unique. There's no grip kind of like this. This grip reminds me of the Sandleader Hero bow. It's very much the same as that, and I just haven't shot it enough to see if it's one of my favorite grips. The Hoyt grip is very narrow. This is very similar to Hoyt grip, but Hoyt grips, they round at the back, so it's more pointed. This feels more comfortable than a Hoyt grip to me. And I'm talking about the Hoyt target grip, not the Hoyt hunting grip. The Hoyt hunting grip is a more molded grip. They have rubber grips in them. They're quite comfortable, but let's just see how we find this. So first thing as I notice is I'm wobbling around a bit, whether that's the wind. Like, there's not much wind here. It's pretty sheltered with the building on this side and the fence on the other side. It's a bit of wind coming down the alley, but I can see my hand is just wobbling around a bit, where sometimes it's completely stable. That could be me. Could be the 6-inch brace height versus 7-inch brace height. I just see my sight pin moving around. It might become more stable as I shoot more. So I find it's moving left and right, up and down. Now, with the old Dartons, this was the center of the string. So that was the center of the string and the grip was lower than the center. I don't know if it makes any difference. Some bows, the grip is the center. So the cams, I'm guessing, it looks to me, just from eye, that's the center of the string. So these cams will be perfectly timed. Other companies like Prime used to do different size cams, top and bottom. So this was the exact center. It made the bow more balanced. That's what they claimed. So, but I like the way the bow feels. It feels good to shoot. The draw stop feels really solid at the end, so I'm going to say, like on some bows, like the Elite and PSE, it's probably a little bit more spongy at the back wall, and that's why you got limb stop options for some bows. This is very solid in the back. And you might as well say it's got a limb stop on it because it feels that solid when you get back there. It locks in place. Now, would you be better to fit a roller slide to this? Look, maybe. I don't know if it would be smoother. I don't know if where I'm feeling that grittiness is from the cable slide or not, or whether that will just go away with time. But you can see this bow just like the pins feel like I'm moving from one side of the 9 to the other side of the 9, and it feels like a consistent shake. The grip, I'm feeling a lot of pressure on the kind of the spot. So you hold the bow like that, I can kind of see the mark down my hand there where it's sitting, sitting straight down there. I don't normally get a mark on my hand like that. I don't know if you can see the mark. That's from a few shots. Doesn't normally happen. It's a different feel, this grip. What's different, I've been shooting a lot of recurve lately. I find my compound shooting, I don't hold as steady anymore. I can draw the bow back a lot easier because I'm building a lot more muscles in the back. But my front arm, because I don't have the weight of the bow, I'm just not as steady anymore. I mean, it's not that my compound scores are dropping by a lot, but I can't hold up the same weight as I normally do with my compound, like with the stabilizer weights on it. So rear stabilizer point there, only the one front stabilizer point there. A lot of modern bows have a point down here. Look, I think this bow looks nice. It's very much in the old frame of the Darton Maverick in the way it looks and feels. So if you had an old Darton Maverick and you liked it, you're probably going to like this one too. That was a knock. Let's go down and look at the group. Okay, so that's my group there. I can pretty much get my fingers around it. Look, there's a couple of nines, but that's actually a pretty good group. I'm going to say my sight picture is moving from there to there and it's shaking. So this group is far better than my aiming. My aiming was wobbling around the place. Now I'm going to say I'm moving from there to there. So half the time my pin is in the middle because it moves from there to there to there to there. So half the time I'm in the middle. So in fact this group is far better than what I'd expect. It's rather surprising to me because a lot of times I hold steady and the bow, might shoot out or might shoot here. Now I'm going to say I've shot Darton for a number of years, and there was a time when I was in the Australian Capital Territory selling Darton that everyone, and I'm going to say everybody in the state, shot Darton. They shot records with them. It's a very solid, stable bow that shoots really well. I feel that this Darton is no exception. I feel like the Darton range is probably going to be no exception. I'm going to say that back 20-30 years ago, Darton pricing was amazing. It was a lot cheaper than the other brands, and I felt it was as good as the other brands, maybe better. I felt like it had more adjustment. And I felt it was a bit unique in the price because I felt like it was better price and I felt like it had more adjustment than other bows, and I used to sell the heck out of them. The new Darton, I felt like in the past, Darton went to modules which made it less adjustable. I felt like Darton put their pricing up so it was less competitive than other brands. And it didn't have the shooters shooting Darton to kind of warrant the higher prices. At $1,100 for the new Darton Maverick is really well priced in the marketplace. The other top of the line bows are going to be $1,600, $1,700. I'm talking Australian dollars. This at $1,100. This is really well priced in the marketplace today. It's got the adjustability. I don't know about the writing, the screen print here. I think you could have probably done some more camo kind of look here, but they're going to use the same graphics, but maybe it could be black with black limbs would have been a problem. Well, black with maybe white print around. I feel like they could have done something with that, but this looks kind of okay. It's plastic, but look, it looks well finished. Look, you could have the option of wood here rather than plastic. I wouldn't mind the option of a rubber grip on the bow. But overall, I think the pricing is excellent on the new Darton. Look, you could have gone for thicker limb axles, but look, it looks excellent. The bow feels good. I'm still undecided about the grip. I'm not sure whether, the grip is excellent. So it would tend to suggest it's very accurate for me, and I'm not getting much torque. It's a narrower grip, so that means you get less torque as far as less left and right movement. With a fatter grip you're going to get more adjustment on more pressure points on the grip. With this grip you're going to get less. So the other top of the line bows, there are a lot of top of the line bows. There's Bowtech, there's Elite, PSE, the Hoyt, Matthews is kind of unique because it's modular base and hard to adjust. The other bows are very adjustable and lots of options. This bow is very adjustable, but it's a lot cheaper than the other bows. The down points on this bow, so some of the other bows have got more adjustability, so you can adjust the let off. You can adjust, you can flip the modules on the Bowtech to change from high performance to softer performance. The Elite, you've got cam stops. You can change everything on the Elite. Where the position in the valley, how the whole bow feels. You've got the tuning ability on the Elite. but it's a higher price point, 15, 1600 versus 1100. So the Darton Maverick is in a unique price point on the marketplace. I'll be interested to see how it sells, because people tend to either come in for under an $800 bow, this is Australian dollars, under $800, or they tend to go, well, look, I don't really care what I spend, give me the best there is on the market. But overall, I really like the bow. I like the finish of it. I think it looks good. I'm really happy with the way that bow groups. Very happy with the way that bow groups at 18 with a 3-pin sight, no peep sight, just a D-loop, which I just whisk a biscuit, arrow rest. The bow is very smooth to draw. The yoke system is nice. The adjustments are nice. The module's nice. You can't adjust the cable guard. So you can't adjust the cable guard. Some of the other bows from like Elite, PSE, you can adjust the cable guard in or out or change the position. Let's say you want to fit a roller slide to this bow, it may be a problem because you need clearance. A lot of the roller slides that will push the cables out further, which will get in the way of your shot. So that may be an issue. It would be nice if Darton had 2-piece quivers available and quivers adjustable available that match the bow. That would be nice. They used to. But overall, I mean, they have the same people there working at Darton they had for years. Always a very dependable company. New owners, obviously, I don't know what was the price point on the Maverick before, but I know when I lost Mike from Darton, the pricing went up, which is why I contacted Rex Darrington, who used to own the company, and said, look, what's going on? And I think he liked designing stuff. He used to design race cars and stuff, and I think he's more of an engineer. Where the salespeople there who there before Mike, they would look at the pricing and make the product affordable, and so it'd sell well in the marketplace. I feel like Darton have done that again, and I feel like this is an interesting price point on the marketplace. So anyway, that's the Darton Maverick. I think you'll see a few of them around the place at shops now. I think Darton was always very popular in Michigan area, but it used to be one of the big brands. So back in 1990, Darton had 10% market stake in the marketplace. They purchased Proline, who had 10% market stake in the marketplace. They were hoping to get 20% market stake, so they were hoping for 1 in 5 bows sold was to be a Darton. That didn't occur because Rex just changed the Proline bows to Dartons and they went back to 10%. But I wouldn't be surprised if Darton went back to 10% again. They've got obviously James, who's an amazing shooter, wins a lot of shoots on their staff now. I feel like it's a good product, and I feel like if it's marketed correctly, this bow should sell very well. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Check out the Darton Maverick at your local archery shop and see what you think of it and see how it compares to the other bows. Thanks for watching. Bye.